The Sublime Beauty of Salvation. Devotional Thoughts for Women by Marianne M. Grutner. God is a lover of the beautiful, and above all that is outwardly attractive, He loves beauty of character. He would have us cultivate purity and simplicity, the quiet graces of the flowers.
Good morning, dear friends. Today, March the 14th, our devotional is entitled Sin Against God. Our scripture reading is taken from Genesis chapter 39 and verse 9. There is no one greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Have you ever heard the children's song that says, "Oh, be careful, little hands, what you touch? For there's a Father up above, looking down in tender love"? I remember singing it many times as a child. I do not imagine that the author intended to portray God as a tyrant who is watching everything we do wrong in order to condemn us. Interpretations aside, we cannot lose sight of God's omnipresence or the fact that there is nothing we can hide from Him. God knows everything, sees everything, not because He wants to condemn us, but to save us from ourselves and our sinful nature. Beautiful, pure Joseph had been tempted suddenly, powerfully, and seductively by his master's wife. If he resisted, he risked imprisonment and perhaps even death. If he yielded, there would be a cover up, favors, and rewards. What would he do? Would he grant victory to the principles he knew so well and that guided his life? Ellen White describes the moment this way. With inexpressible anxiety, angels looked upon the scene. Joseph stood by his principles. He would not betray his master on earth, and regardless of the consequences, he would be faithful to his master in heaven. If we were constantly aware of the notion that wherever we are and whatever we do, we are in the presence of God, that He sees and hears all we do and say, and that He keeps a faithful record of our words and actions, we would be more afraid of sinning. We can transgress human laws without being caught, but it is different with God's law. Every action, every word, every thought, and even the most intimate motives of our hearts are perceived by an unseen witness. He is not so intent on condemning us. It is because He ardently desires to transform our character into His likeness so that we may soon be with Him in the perfect place He has prepared for us. Joseph's final and strongest argument was his fear of God. No one sins alone. Sins almost always involve someone else. Nor does anyone sin without offending God. Joseph was fully aware of God's presence. May we also have this sense of God's presence and say, when faced with temptation, "How can I commit such a sin against God?" There is no one greater in this house than I, nor has He kept back anything from me but you, because you are His wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Genesis chapter 39 and verse 9.